Remember I said geometry has more marks. It's a must that you master it if you want to go on doing this interesting subject, which is mathematics. So in geometry, the key is make sure that you look at the diagram together with the information before you go to start looking at the questions. In that way, you fix everything and then eventually you've answered the first question. So let's do the next one. In my paper, I have named it question 14, just for understanding. So it's question 14. In my question 14 then, I have given this statement. Let's see. The statement given to us, or let's first draw the shape as we did first. So we are drawing our shape. Remember, it's not up to scale, but we'll try to draw it as possible as that this is a diameter. And there is a line that goes from the diameter to there. And it comes to the center. And it goes to the circumference. Another line is going from the center and to the circumference and to the other circumference. So, okay, folks, let's continue. So now we have drawn that shape and let's try to see if we have drawn it properly and label it as it is. For you guys, you shouldn't be worried because the shape will be drawn for you and in the answer book. So there's no stress. This is what the shape is all about. It has been labeled in this case. This is 1, this is 2, and they have been called X as well. And this is B, and that's line A, or is parallel to line DC. And there's E here, letter E, with 1 and 2. And I guess that's how it has been labeled. Now, before I look at the question, this shape of mine, and we have to look at what the information given. They said, in the diagram, O is the center. Now we know if we have the center, there's an angle at the center towards the angle of the circumference. That's the first thing. And if the center then, and they said A, B, C, D are the points on the circumference. They're not necessarily they're exactly quadrilateral, but they are on the circumference. So you can look at them and see if they are actually in the circumference. And they said to you, CD is a diameter. Now having a diameter, it gives you the power to say, I have the angle 90 at the circumference. So having this as a diameter, this angle there will be 90. Angle A1 plus angle A2, it's 90 because it's subtended by the diameter. So you need to note that down so you can be able to remember while you are working on it. Now more information given to us. They say the chord CA intersects the radius. We can see that, and AB is drawn. Okay. These are all straight lines. They said again, A2 is equals to X, while CD is parallel to AO. So we have labeled everything. We can therefore go and check the questions. Now let's see what the questions are saying. Give a reason why. Now we are still reasoning. This is question 14, as I said. My 14.1 is, we are still reasoning. 14.1, we must give a reason why C1, so angle C1 is equals to X. Now where's X? This is where my X is. Can we use different pen? This is where my X is. Now they are saying, give a reason why this A2 is actually equals to angle C1. Folks, we have been given the parallel lines. Let's start using them and see what it will give us. Remember, in parallel lines, we have 3 conditions. One condition is that alternative angles are equal. The second one is that corresponding angles are equal. And the third one is that co-integral angles are supplementary. Now we are talking about the other one. So let's look at this one. If I throw this line straight there and go down and go this way, I'm having this angle there equals to the angle there. Okay, I guess that's clear. If I draw another line, starting from 0, I go up to A and I go down to C1 and I go up. You can see that C1 is equals to X indeed, as they say. Now what will be the reason? The reason for that is that there is alternating angles that are equal. And if alternating angles are equal, you always have to specify the parallel lines that you are talking about. And this equal sign is also important. So you need to say AO is actually parallel to CD. And then that's how you should reason that part. Okay, the second one they say, explain again why C2 is still going to be equals to X. Folks, look at it. We are looking at C2 now, 14.2. C2 is equals to X. Give us a reason. Look at triangle AOC. The triangle we are talking about now is AOC. This is the triangle from A to O to C, and close it. Can you guys see that CO is equals to AO? Because now these are the radius. This line is equals to that line. They are radiuses. So if these two lines are equal, they are opposite the angles that are going to be equal as well. So that means C2 is equals to X because it's the angles that are opposite equal sides. So let's write that because that is the reason. It is going to be angles opposite equal sides. And one can simply say because OC is equal to AO, and the reason will be radii. Either one of these two reasons will give you a mark. Okay, folks? And it's very simple for you to just follow as long as you know the theorems and the information that is needed. Okay, let's go to the other question, which is 4.1.2. So, okay, no, this is 4.1 and this is 4.1.1. So let's label it properly. 14.1, 14.1.1 and 14.1.2. So we are going to 14.2 now. Okay, that's too much 14 point something. Going to 14.2, let's look at the information. Determine giving reason. Now you actually have to do it. And the 3 marks, the 2 marks, that's where they're coming. Determine with giving reason the size of the following in terms of X. Remember, in terms of means that X must be there. Not necessarily that the answer must be X, but whatever you write, X must be there. And the first one is A1. So let's look at it and see how we're going to get A1. So we need to find A1 in terms of X. This is a question at hand. Let's figure it out. Where is A1? A1 is just there. Folks, remember we said A1 plus A2 is equals to 90 degrees from the beginning and from the statement. The reason was because it's the angle subtended by the diameter or semicircle. So you can write one of that, semicircle, angle subtended by the diameter. So we know that A2 is already equals to X, meaning that A1 will be equals to 90 degrees minus X. And to be surprised, this is 3 marks. So you see you got your statement, your reason, and your solution having the full 3 marks. Okay. Now determine the value of O1. We just have said that O1 is actually equals to angle D. But angle D is equals to X. But angle D is equals to X. How could we find this one? If we say the angle at the center and the angle at the circumference, let's look at that. Our angle at the center, it is O1. Our angle at the circumference is C1. So C1 and O1 will give us something similar. Okay, let's go to D. How will we get to D? If we have, okay, we'll use parallel lines. D is also equals to O1. So let's write that down. It is 14.2. O1 is equals to angle D. And if O1 is equals to angle D, we just have said that this is because of the alternating angles. Let's write the information down. Alternating angles are equal because AO is parallel to CD. That is our first information. Let's look again on the other one. Remember, angle D, angle O1 and angle O1 and okay, let's see. No, it can't be angle O1 because it's going to the center and the second. Yes, angle O1 and angle C1, they are the same as well. So O1 is equals to C1 because of the angle at center equals to twice angle at circumference. Okay, so angle O1 is equals to 2 angle C1. Now, angle C1 back then, in 14.1.1, we have said that it's equals to X because of the alternating angles. There it is. Okay, if angle C1 is equals to X, it means that angle O1 is also equals to 2X. Why? Because C1 is equals to X and O1 is equals to 2C1, meaning that O1 is equals to x. So that's how you would have written this one in terms of x. Your angle O1 is equals to 2 times angle C1. Okay, which makes your angle D to also be equals to 2x. So you have killed two birds in one. If that question was asked, you could have found it as well. Okay, the last question they said you must find O2. One will be saying O2 is far out from what I'm looking for. Yes, it is. But let's look at triangle CAB combined together like that. If we look at that triangle, we can be able to find angle B in that triangle. Okay, let's write it so that it's simpler for us to understand. 14.3, let's look at the triangle CAB, whereby angle A in that is 90, angle C2 is X. So it means that angle B will be equals to 180 degrees minus 90 minus X. That is the angles of a triangle. Okay, for that matter then it means that angle B is also going to be equals to 90 degrees minus X. In other words, angle B is the same as angle A1. It is 90 minus X, which is making sense because OA and OB, they are radiuses, which makes these two lines equal. And if they are equal, it means that they can give us what we are looking for. So this line is that line and it's that line. Okay, so we can now go to triangle ABO. That is a small one. Remember we said that angle A1, it is 90 minus X. And also angle B is 90 minus X. Now what are we looking for? We are looking for angle O2 according to the statement. So this is what we are looking for. Now using that triangle, ABO, angle A1 plus angle B plus angle O2 is 180 degrees. That is the angles of a triangle. Okay, the sum of the angles in a triangle, right? These two, they are the same. So we'll have O2 equals 180 minus, let's write it like that, 90 minus X, and also minus 90 minus X. Let's see what is coming to happen here. We will have 180 minus 90 plus X minus 90 plus X, and that gives us 2X. If you have looked at it in a different direction, you could have found out that O1 is actually equals to O2 because they are both equals to 2X, and you could have given the reason that makes them the same, and that is the solution to that question. There's one left, and that one is directed to for you to conclude in a way that one of the space is a cyclic quadrilateral. It's like a conclusion from what you have done. If you have done everything properly, then you can be able to conclude. Let's look at it. For which value of X will A, B, or E be a cyclic quad? Now, there's three conditions in terms of cyclic quad. One, the opposite angle of a cyclic quad must be supplementary for whatever quadrilateral to be a cyclic quad. Two, the exterior angle of any quadrilateral must be equal to the opposite interior angle for whatever shape to be a cyclic quad. And the third one is that it must subtend the angle. So the diameter or the chord must subtend the same angle, or the arc must subtend the same angle. So let's see which one can do that. What are we looking for? It is A, B, O, E. Let's trace it. A, B, O, E. A, B, O, E. So we are tracing this one. If this shape there have something of what we have talked about, therefore we have a cyclic quad. Now let's look at this. The line that is having, remember we said O1 and O2, they are equal. And what are they equals to? They are equals to 2x. And what is going to be A1 and A2? So if you can prove that A1 plus A2 is the same as O1 plus O2, or when you add them together, they will give you 180. Then you have proven. So let's see if that can happen. It is 14.3, this question. So the 14.3, we are trying to prove a cyclic quad. So what is A1 plus A2 plus O1 plus O2? What are they giving me? So that's what I'm looking for. But I'm aiming for them to give me 180. If they can, it means it's true. What is O1? O1 is 90 degrees minus x. And what is A2? A2 is given as what? A2 is given as x. It was a given statement. And what is O1? We have found O1 to be 2x. And what will be O2? We have also found O2 to be equals to 2x. So let's see if that's what is going to happen. We are having 90 minus 4x in a way. 90 minus 4x is what we are having in this case, meaning that A1 plus O2 plus A2 plus O2 plus O1 gives us something like, okay, let's rephrase. We are talking about A1 and together. A1 and A2, it's actually 90 because of the diameter. So the two of them will give us 90. And how much will be this one, which is O1 and O2? Now, in O1 and O2, we need to figure out if we can get a 90 from this one. And if that's the case, it means we know that the two of them will give us 180. And then, if that's the case, it means that this is a cyclic quadrilateral. And one other way is that we can prove that the angle that is outside here, it's also equals to the angle that we'll find there, which is 90 minus. If that's the case, then we get the solution. One other way is that we can prove that this angle there, which is angle E2, plus the angle B, are giving us 180. So those are the three conditions that we are looking for. The whole of angle A is equals to 90. So let's look at this one. The whole of angle A, it's 90. Remember, we are talking about A, B, O, E. If I'm not mistaken, yes, A, B, O, E. The whole of angle A is equals to 90 degrees because of a semicircle. Now we are looking for angle O1 plus angle O2. What is it that they give us? We have solved that angle O1 is the same as 2x. And angle O2 is the same as 2x. So it means that O1 plus O2 is equals to 4x. That's what we are having. And how can we represent this to be 90? In this case, it's not really what we are looking for. If this is 2x, this angle there will be 180 degrees minus 2x, because that is the angle we are talking about. Okay. If this angle there plus this angle here gives us 180, then we have a cyclic quadrilateral. Now that's what we are saying. So let's say the whole of angle A, which is angle A1, it's plus angle O in this, which is angle O1 plus 2, will be equals to 90 degrees plus 4x. Now, if you look at this statement is not giving us a cyclic quad, but they said for which value of x, like whatever value of x that you can put in, such that A, B, or E is a cyclic quad. So after you have found this one, you need to figure out what value of x that you can put there, multiply it by 4, and you will get a 90. That's what they're saying. What is the value of x, or what value can you multiply it with 90 and then you get to the solution. So let's see, if I say 90 divided by 4, I'm getting something like 22.5. 22.5 is then A, B, or E is a cyclic quadrilateral. So they wanted you to solve for x, or to find any value of x that when you put it here, it will make these two information valid to give you 180. So it means if I add them, I must get 180. That is why you have to come up with the value of x, because they said for which value of x will A, B, or E be a cyclic quad. And sometimes they don't ask it like that. They'll just go straight and say, prove that this is a cyclic quad. And they need you to look at those boundaries and make sure that you get it correct, like the supplementary, the exterior angle, and the same segment. That is the end of this question.